this is Tanja, and today I'm going to share some thoughts on home equity loans. A home equity loan is when you use the cash value of your current home asset to secure a loan. So for example, if your house is valued at $400,000 and you have already paid half of the mortgage, so you would have a cash value of $200,000. What you would do is that you would go to your financial institution and ask them for a home equity loan. Usually there's many requirements in which you have to meet, and also there's a percentage at which they are willing to give you. Because you have a cash value of $200,000 in the home, it doesn't mean that the financial institution would be willing to lend you up to that $200,000. In some cases it's 50%, some it would be 75%, and there are cases I know, especially in the Caribbean, where they're not willing to do it very much these days, so it may be as low as 25% to what they are willing to allow you to take out in a loan against your cash value. So let's get into why taking a home equity loan may not necessarily be the best decision. Reason number one, most of these loans actually fall under a few categories in terms of purpose of what individuals would want them for. In some cases, persons will be taking it out to repair their home, or to add a room to their home, or to do something for their home. But in some cases, or in many cases, they're taking it out for consumer purposes. That is because they want to travel. Some persons may be taking it out because they want to start a business and they're using that as the funds to start up. And in some cases, persons are doing it for medical bills. If that's the case, then of course you're going to go ahead and do it. Persons also do it for purposes of education, whether it is for themselves or they do it for education for their children. Now, the thing is, if you're not doing it as a reason for actually adding to the house or for making adjustments to your home that will increase the value of your home, then you're taking out that home equity loan for something that doesn't currently increase the value of the asset. And that's one of the major reasons why you would want to avoid those type of loans. If you are tying a business to it, there's a possibility that if you lose that business, then that you also put yourself in jeopardy of losing that home, where your home could be repossessed because you've lost your business. The business wasn't making enough money, or there were other issues with the business. And now not only have you lost your livelihood, but you're also going to lose the place in which you are living in. And that's one of the reasons why you should always avoid trying to tie a business into the dwelling home in which you actually live in. Reason number two why home equity loans are not necessarily the best decisions. The rates aren't great. Now, the rates may be better than a personal loan. It may be better than credit cards, of course. It may be better than a line of credit. And it may be even better than that business loan. But chances are it's nowhere near the rate at which you've probably secured the original mortgage on. So you're actually paying a higher rate to be able to take out a loan on the asset that you already had at a much lower rate. That's the reason why you don't want to take out a home equity loan, or in some cases what people call a second mortgage, because you're never going to get the rate as good as the original mortgage. Reason number three why you don't want to take out a home equity loan: it costs money. When you go through the whole process of taking out that second mortgage, it's almost as if you're taking out the mortgage for the first time. In many cases, you're going to have to get valuations on your home, which means that you have to actually look for monies to be able to secure the valuer to come out to put a new value on the home. That is something that most financial institutions will insist on, that you get a new valuation on the home. The actual mortgage, whether you're calling it a second mortgage or whether you're calling it a home equity, it actually costs money, just like how the original one costs you money. So you're going to pay those fees all over again to be able to secure that second mortgage or that home equity loan. Reason number 4 is that it just prolongs the length of the time that you are in debt. There is nothing like seeing that feeling where you've been paying a particular debt, whether it's a car loan or education loan or even a mortgage for many, many years, and you can see the end road. You know, you're 5 years away, or even if you have more years than that, and then you go and you take out a home equity loan, and you're now putting yourself back into that debt all over again for an additional 5 years, an additional 10 years. And that's something that you really don't want to be doing unless it's absolutely necessary. As I said, in the case of maybe medical bills, then you don't think about it. Of course, you're going to go ahead and do it. But for any other reason, you really have to ask yourself, do I want to add 5 more years? Do I want to add 10 more years to being in debt, to paying this type of debt? No, you don't. And that leads into the next reason, because of the opportunity cost that you're missing out on. That money that you're going to be paying for the fees associated with this new loan, for whether it's the valuer or the whatever type of fees, banking fees, stamp duties, those type of fees, and the interest that would be going towards that loan, there's an opportunity loss there. Because those monies are monies that you could be putting in another investment, whether it's in the stock market or whatever type of investment that you want to, or maybe even into another real estate property. That's money that you could be putting elsewhere to ensure that you are creating a good financial foundation for yourself in the future. Those monies are the monies that you can be using for investments. Those monies are the monies that you can use even to start the business. So instead of taking out a loan, you could be saving and putting that money aside, whereas then you are not having to pay any interest associated with it. So once you start the business, or once you have embarked on another real estate project, you are actually able then to see the benefits from it. You are actually able to get your returns as opposed to spending that money on interest rates and all of those other costs associated with a second mortgage. Even if it's not anything as high as that, and you just want to be able to buy a few mutual funds or some bonds or anything like that, then that's money that you can actually use for that purpose and secure your long-term future. I hope that these tips that I've just shared will give you a little more insight into second mortgages and home equity loans, and why they may not necessarily be the right decision for you. And if you have embarked on one of those, please share with me whether in hindsight you think it was the best decision for you, or the other disadvantages that I haven't shared here that you will want to share.